Hi, welcome back to the channel. A new development has took place this week. Very frustrating for a small business. I did lean on it the other day if you're a regular watcher of the channel, but I'll quickly go through it again. Somebody rang me a couple of days before last week, so about a week ago. Somebody rang me, interested in a mower I had for sale. Proceeded with the sale, paid on a credit card over the phone, was sending a courier or a friend to collect it, which isn't uncommon. Anyway, what was suspicious to me though, that he paid too quickly. It was something wasn't quite right with that customer. Anyway, he paid on a first card, declined, second card declined, third card went through. So I thought, that's a bit iffy. So I rang, I'm not going to name the companies, but I've got a card machine, and so a company who deal with a card machine, and then the company who deal with the financial stuff in the background. I rang the card machine people and told them I thought it was a bit iffy. Can they validate the transaction? They said, oh, nothing to do with us. We don't have access to that information. I'll transfer you through to the financial services people who deal with the transactions. I spoke to them, told them the story, asked them to validate the transaction, which they refused. They said, no, we don't do that, unfortunately. We will only get involved if there's an issue from the card holder or if it gets reported or whatever. But as of this moment, it's gone green. There's no issues with the payment. The money's gone through. So I was in a catch-22 situation there. What do? They advised me that they could charge back my account for 120 days. So I can't withhold the machine from the customer for 120 days. It wouldn't be very good service. As I'm aware, he was a bit iffy, but there was nothing sincere about it. There was nothing out the odd, you know what I mean? There was nothing out of the ordinary that made me go, hang on, this is a complete scam, don't get involved. So, I put him off for a day and said, oh look, you'll have to be tomorrow now, I'm busy, etc, etc, and put him off till the lunchtime. And I thought I'd give the card machine people chance to catch up, or if somebody reported it as a suspicious transaction on their account or whatever, it gets sorted, you know, within those 24-hour period. Nothing come. Anyway, the customer was keen then to collect his mower, so he sent somebody for it. I spoke to the card machine people again, went through everything with them and said, look, what am I covered if this is? They said they will fight it on my behalf if there was an issue. The financial people said, well, there's a bit of risk involved, but nobody really told me what would happen. I've recorded all my conversations. I won't be putting out any of them yet because this is now in dispute. I went ahead and proceeded with the transaction. I took my GoPro, which you all know I've got, and I had the chap on record collecting the machine. He was a bit like that when he arrived. He was hiding his face a little bit, and it did spring to me that, you know, something wasn't right with this transaction, and I had this horrible suspicion that it was a stolen card. But I don't know. I can't get access to the information to actually check this to make sure it's true. So I went through the process of doing everything I possibly could to try and validate this transaction. Was unable to do any of it. So anyway, he came, I took pictures of him, I took pictures of his vehicle, I got him to sign all the invoices. You know, I went above and beyond that I would normally do in that sort of a transaction to try and get as much information from him as I possibly could. About a week later, I've had an email from the people who do my card details, the card machine. Suspicious transaction. There's a charge back on your account for £3,750. Stolen credit card. I was like, ugh. So I rang them immediately, talked to the people on the phone, which I also recorded. Said, look, where does it leave me here? Oh, you're liable. I'm like, what? I'm liable? Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it works. You're liable as the retailer. Your mistake, your loss, I lose £4,000. I was like, no, hang on, this isn't fair. I spoke to you and I asked you to check this and they weren't interested. Now I know why they weren't interested, because apparently it lands on me. I then rang my card terminal people as well, who said they'd fight it on my behalf. They turned around and went, oh, nothing to do with us. You'll have to speak to the financial people directly. So now I am a machine down and I'm going to lose £4 grand. So I phoned the police and got in contact with the fraud department and went through it with them. And they said the same thing. Unfortunately, this is unfortunate, but yeah, buck stops with the retailer, unfortunately. So I've been told by 3 people and nobody was interested whatsoever. There is a dispute process that I can use, I've been told, so I'm in dispute with them at the moment. I have also cancelled my direct debits with the card machine people and blocked my card, because in my eyes I am not being a victim of a scam. The people involved and the banks, they should carry that bill, shouldn't they? It's not my system that's been compromised, it's the credit card systems. Somebody has figured a way of ripping off those credit cards, but I have to pay for it. So very frustrating, but I will keep you all updated as it unfolds. Yeah, so this is what's happened last week. So a bit annoying. I spent a day on it already, on the phones, banks, card machine people, all the rest of it. So I'll see what happens, really. Like I say, there's a dispute process in place at the moment, but eye-opening for a lot of people out there who use these card machines. Shows you're not covered at all. If someone comes and pays on a stolen credit card, it's on you, which I don't understand. I don't understand how that can be my responsibility. In my dispute to them, I've put that in the thing of like, well, it's not my system that's been compromised, it's your system that's been hacked, if you like, you know what I mean? Somebody stole your credit card details and paid for them. It's not my fault. How can it be my fault? I don't have access to be able to chase these up and double check payments, etc. But yeah, so what I'll be doing, I'll put this out as a bit vague, but see what happens with this disputes process and see where that end takes me. But as of now, I'm a bit annoyed that I could end up picking up this bill, you know. So I'll lose what it cost me, won't I? So I won't lose all the money in that sense, you know. Obviously the profit is profit, but my initial cost is what the only thing I'm going to lose. But I will be putting this guy on YouTube, like, no doubt about it. I'll make this guy famous if this is what happens. So I'll be putting his face all over the internet, and I'll make sure everybody knows that this guy is running a scam, you know. And I'll get his details from somewhere. Someone will find him, and I'll be reporting him to the police, and we'll see what happens from there. But as of today, like I say, I've cancelled all my direct debits with the card people and said no one's getting nothing till it's been resolved. I don't see why I should have to pay for it. It wasn't my fault, and I reported it to him. Not that it was stolen cards, I didn't know this, but he was iffy, wasn't quite right. And I wanted them to check the legitimacy of the payment before I let the machine go, and they refused. So in my thing, well, I warned you, and I tried to get you to have a look, but no one was interested. But now you know why no one was interested, because they're just going to go, oh, you've got to pay the bill, haven't you? So we'll see what happens, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, just a quick one, and I hope you all like and subscribe, and maybe the YouTube revenue off this video, if it gets enough people watching it, will pay for the loss that I'm probably going to take with the machine. So highly unlikely though, but you know, soon see, won't we? Right, catch us on the next one.